Hey everybody. Okay, so like I discussed, this is egg number 2, and we're gonna go ahead and tuck a second bead inside the wrapping. Still extremely simple, easy, fairly quick fly to tie, and with the added second bead, it's gonna sink like a rock. Well, sort of. These still sink quite a bit slower than like a nymph, just because of the volume of the chenille. So in the hook this time is a size 12, 450 BL, and the bead up front is a 4.6 millimeter gold tungsten bead, and then the second bead is a 4 millimeter metallic pink. Color doesn't really matter. It's going to get tucked inside of the wraps. Thread, we're going to use the same UTC 70 fluorescent orange. And the material is going to be the same, but for this fly I'm going to use my extremely hard to find now flybox UK eggstacy, and this is color electric sockeye. So it's the same sockeye, kind of peachy pink, but this has UV inside. 100% this is my most productive color. If I had to pick one egg color to use, it would be this UV pink. But the sockeye without the UV also extremely productive. I just think, I don't know why, the UV helps. I'm a sucker for it. Hopefully the fish are too. Okay, so first things first, we're going to lay down a thread base. So on this fly, unlike the last one, we're actually going to go to roughly the hook point. And I'm going to lay down a bit of a thread base. Going to put some super glue in to get this bead stuck, and a little extra thread definitely helps. So I'm going to dab some crazy glue, and when I place the bead, not quite enough. I want to make sure there's about 2 millimeters in between. And just going to give that a second to set up, and then we're going to go ahead and actually lash the smaller bead to the hook. You don't have to use a slotted bead for the back bead. You could use a regular one. I like the slot because it gives something for my thread to catch on. I'll show you. I put the slot on my side so I can see it, but after I've lashed it, I'll show you it helps. So I'm just going to do X wraps, and like I said, I'm going in the slot. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing this because chances are you're going to lose this fly at some point anyways. So I'll spin that around. You can see my thread is literally in the slot of the bead, and it's not going to go anywhere. So after that, I can advance up to behind the first bead, and now I'm going to get my chenille. I've exposed the core. Just like the last fly, I'm going to put the core into the bead and then catch it. And then again, I want to really make sure this part is tied down well. Okay, so now it's tied in. I'm going to wet my fingers again, just like the last one. I got a cup of water here, and I'm going to wet the chenille and start kind of preening it back. So the stuff with the UV in it is a little more unruly. It's got a little bit more structure because of the plastic UV fibers, but that's okay. It's still gonna help us a lot with wrapping. Okay, so once that's wet, just gonna go touching turns, jamming it in between the two, and I'm going to stop there. So that's about 2.5 turns, and I'm going to separate the chenille so I can just catch the core, and I go 3 or 4 good tight wraps there. I'll throw one in front and then cut it. And at this point I'm just going to whip finish, and that is it. Very, very quick and easy fly to tie. No glue, other than I'm gluing the other bead, but I definitely don't finish these with glue. I've never really had one come apart unless it's after a ton of fish, and at that point, you know, it's an inch of material and a couple beads, like it's served its purpose. So I'm not overly concerned. So there you go. It's extremely heavy double tungsten bead egg, and that's it. Go tie some eggs, catch a bunch of fish, have some fun.